This is, by far, the most requested and highly anticipated top 10 I've ever made. But before we get into it, let's set some ground rules. Number 1, I'm not using any farm units, because realistically, they would all be 1, 2, and 3. Number 2, this isn't going to be just based on DPS. It's going to be based on a mix of rarity, how available it is, and how much it costs. And number 3, and last and certainly not least, for the most part, this is going to be gauged on how cheap something is versus how much damage they do. Hence, why they are a starter unit. A unit you place down at the start of the map. And there is actually one more thing on the list. Make sure you guys drop a like and a subscribe. We're trying to get to 50K by the end of the month. Alright, let's go to number 10. At number 10, I'm sure a lot of you guys will be confused, mainly because it's a mythic unit. But it is going to be the shotgun cameraman. And the reason why it is so much higher up on the list is because of the fact that it is a mythic unit. However, that still makes it a good starter unit. The shotgun cameraman is actually the highest damage per second per dollar spent on this list. He is a single attack unit. However, it only costs $3,000 to fully max him out and do 6,000 damage per second. He also has 30 range, which is definitely less than a lot of other units, but it's still pretty strong. But getting 6,000 damage per second for only 3,000, you're not gonna see that in much other places. But like I said before, he is a mythic unit, so it's not as available. And like I also said, he is a single attack unit, which doesn't make him as strong, but it still makes him a super viable starting unit, locking him in at number 10.
Let's enter number 9.
And coming in at number 9, I have the Jetpack Speakerman. The Jetpack Speakerman is one of the more higher expensive units to fully max out on this list, and he is also another single attack unit. However, he is more available than the shotgun cameraman, but he has a max DPS of 7,000, which is higher than the shotgun, and he costs 5,500 to max out fully. But that doesn't stop him from being super viable to upgrade right away. As you can see, he's already doing about 450 damage per second, and he only costs 400 so far. You can place these units down before the map even starts. On top of this, he's also a little bit better than the shotgun, as his range is in fact 45. So he'll be able to attack a larger range compared to the shotgun, and he's easier to get. So with all those things being said, we lock in the Jetpack Speakerman at number 9. Let's head on over to number 8. Coming in at number 8 is going to be the last mythic on the list. It's the headless! Oh my god! It's the large laser cameraman. And if you're wondering why the large laser cameraman is on the list, he is easily the most expensive unit to fully max out on this list. He's so expensive to fully max out, I'm not even gonna tell you, it's over 10,000. However, his early starting DPS and range is why he's on this list. As soon as you get him up to level 2, he's doing 3,000 damage per second with a range of 35. And to get him to that cost, it costs less than 2,000 total. Being able to do that to me is pretty freaking strong. I upgraded him and he still didn't get ahead. But at this level 2 stage is what we're talking about. He has this big of a range. He's doing 3,000 damage per second. And to me, that's a pretty strong starting unit. And plus, he helps you further along down the road. And that's why he locks himself in at number 8. Let's go to number 7. Coming in at number 7 on this list is the third most available unit in all tower defense. It's going to be none other than the Firework cameraman. I don't think many people are going to debate this pick too much. I also believe that literally everyone's used this unit. But the Firework cameraman is a super valuable unit, as it only costs 2,400 to max him out, and he does a max DPS of 2,000. And if you're wondering, that's very good, especially considering that it has that splash explosion radius. When you fully max him out, he has a radius of 12, which means everything within a range of about this much is gonna get hit. That's probably hard for you to visualize, but just know it's a pretty massive range. Like, look, I was able to literally place 3 of these down at wave 1. He's literally, I think, the only unit you can do that with. And so with him being so available, so cheap, and doing so much damage per second, and so easy to place, he's gonna lock himself in solidly at number 7. But what's gonna be at number 6? Before we get into this next pick, I just want to say that at any point in time, you guys are totally allowed to debate the picks that I make. This is easily the most frugal list that I've made. So many of these are interchangeable. This is just my preference, and with what I've done the 6 months that I've played tower defense. Either way, number 6, we have none other than the Laser Cameraman car. Laser Cameraman car is a legendary unit, so it's one of the easier units to get on the list. He costs 5,500 to fully max out, which is a little higher up on the list, but it has one of the highest DPSs on this list of 7,000. He has a range of 40, which is super good with that laser that he shoots out, so you're able to scan over a good mass of an area, and plus, he just looks super freaking sick. Who doesn't want a cameraman in a race car? So for those reasons, he's gonna place himself in number 7. 6. And since he's at number 6, let's figure out who's at number 5. On this one, there's literally zero doubt in my mind. I know a bunch of people were waiting to see this unit come on its way on the list. And if you're wondering what unit I'm talking about, it's none other than the laser gun cameraman. The laser gun cameraman is a fantastic unit that costs 4,700 to fully max out, and he maxes out at a damage per second of 7,500, making him be one of the higher damage per second per dollar units on this list. I'm not 100% sure if he has that similar same slow effect as the green laser cameraman. Nonetheless, with a range of 30 and having a damage per second of 7,500 for that price, you're not going to see many other units doing that good of a damage for that price in the starting early round. Also, he puts his gun on his shoulder. That's kind of epic. How often do you see a guy shoot a gun like that? And for all of those reasons, and plus he is also another legendary, one of the more available legendaries in my opinion, he's gonna lock himself in on the list at number 5. Man, this list is getting dominated by lasers and cameramen, so I wonder what that puts at number 4. Let's go find out, shall we? Also, short intermission break. This is a message for everyone who hasn't done either of these things. If you guys haven't gone over to my second channel, you guys should definitely go drop a subscribe over there, especially if you like anime content. I also am gonna start playing other tower defense games in general. I've just been super busy with all these toy tower defense updates. Don't worry, I'm gonna start posting there again soon. Also, if you haven't already joined my group on Roblox, go over and join it. There's not really a reason to join it yet. However, I think I'm gonna add a free t-shirt soon for everyone that subscribes before we hit 50,000. So go over there and join that before you are too late. All right, back to the tier list. I know for a fact everyone was waiting for this unit to appear. The unit that's an absolute menace. The unit that used to carry the hard mode / nightmare mode strategy back in the day. None other than the mech freaking cameraman. I remember this unit had an insanely high trade value for literally no reason at all. Besides for the fact that it's just that strong of a starting unit. It's one of the few units on this list that you can keep out on the field like throughout the entire game and still have a good chance of winning. And the reason for that is because he costs only 3,000 to fully max out. That is so cheap for the damage per second that you get from this man. Not only that, but he has an attack range of 40. That's why he is so freaking strong. He has a max DPS of 6,000. And look, he's already maxed out. He's doing 6,000 damage per second, and he has a radius of 50. If you disagree with the mech because it's too low on this list, frankly, I disagree with you. Spoiler alert, this is the last starting unit on this list that you can actually summon. So, as far as summon units go, the mech cameraman is literally the strongest summonable starting unit in all of Toy Tower Defense, in my opinion. But if you disagree, let me know. But look, it's wave 10 on easy mode, and I already have 2 fully maxed out. That shouldn't happen. All right, I just glazed the mech cameraman super hard. It's gonna be hard to top at number 3. Let's go find out what it is anyways. I am so ready to protest your wham whams and your womp womps for number 3 on this list. This is a hill that I will die on. Without a singular doubt in my mind, the Scientist TV Man is the 3rd best starting unit in all of Toilet Tower Defense. And before you complain, it is still super available-ish. He's no longer available to be bought from the shop. However, there are a million or so of them floating around, so he's one of the harder units to get on this. However, for his price and what he does for you, he's one of the most valuable starting units in all of Toilet Tower Defense. He builds up a wall of 250,000 HP. Sure, he does cost 11,900 to fully max out, but if you don't fully max him out, he's only going to cost 5,900, which isn't the worst we've seen on this list. And at the 5,900 tier, not only does he do 1,000 damage or 3,000 damage per second from where he is here, but he also provides you with a wall of 100,000 health. So it's a multi-purpose unit, multifaceted, and in my opinion, it's just super good as it's a backbone to the rest of your units. You just place down 2 of these guys, and literally you can just sit back and relax as he kind of takes care of business. I mean, how could you feel safer than literally having a wall blocking toilets from breaking through? Because this unique ability, and I guess a little bit my own personal bias, and because it legitimately is the most starting unit that there could possibly be, I do have to lock in the Scientist TV Man at number 3. Time to go to number 1 and 2. I think you guys know what's coming next. For number 1 and 2, I do not think it was a matter of who. I think this was the most anticipated 1 and 2 we've ever seen. These 2 units in their own starting right could probably have a whole video made by just about these 2 and who's the better starter unit. However, today we're gonna put them in a brawl. It is none other than the Green Laser Cameraman and the Frost DJ Speaker Man. And there is one key silver lining between the two of these as to why I have the other one higher than the other. But first, let's talk about their stats before I put them at 1 and 2. Take a guess at where I'm gonna put where which now. First, we'll talk about the Frost DJ Speaker Man. He costs only $400 more to fully max out than the Green Laser Cameraman. The Frost DJ costs $6,900. Nice. While the Green Laser Cameraman costs $6,500 to fully max out. The Frost DJ Speaker Man does a max damage per second of 4,000 after being nerfed a million times, having a 240-degree radius once he's fully maxed out, which is a slight nerf as he doesn't attack everything inside of his radius. However, with his damage per second, he constantly is ticking everything inside of the bubble versus other AoE and splash units. He hits literally everything if they are in his bubble, which he is literally the only unit that does that. It is absurd. And as I said about the Green Laser Cameraman, 6,500 to fully max out. And these both have their own unique special abilities. Like, he does everything inside of the bubble, where the Green Laser Cameraman has this weird buff that literally no one talks about, or like people talk about it, but it just is not advertised on the unit in any way, shape, or form. It slows down units, and that's literally its most valuable asset. It's not necessarily its damage. It's good. It's good. Don't get me wrong. It can solo medium mode, but most people use him even in later waves because of his slowing capabilities. But he does max out at 9,000 damage per second, which is higher than the Frost DJ by quite a bit, but it's single DPS. The damage doesn't matter here. We're comparing apples to oranges, you know? But where does Hoplas put at number 1 and what does Hoplas put at number 2? Literally the most highly anticipated topic that everyone's been waiting for. And the main difference as to why I put this one at number 1 over the other one is because this, out of all of these units on the list, is the only one that can literally solo Nightmare mode. You can solely have this unit on your team without any other unit and beat the game. Like, I'm talking Nightmare mode. Do you know how hard that is? That is the key defining factor of a starting unit. It's a starting unit, it's a mid unit, and it's a finish unit. And it's not that expensive. At number 1, I had the Frost DJ Speaker Man. I know a lot of people are gonna be like, are you kidding me, Hopeless? The Green Laser Camera is better. For me, I personally think Frost DJ is better because, like I said, you can just place them down. You can just place down 15 Frost DJ Speaker Man, upgrade them fully to max, wipe your hands, call it a day, and sleep through Nightmare mode. How does it get any easier than that? The Green Laser Cameraman is still very, very strong. However, he does need help from other stronger DPS units to beat maps. Yes, I do think his slowdown effect is amazing. That's why he's number 2. That's why he's higher than literally everything else. I would understand if you guys disagree, but I think I make a pretty strong argument for my boy, the Frost DJ Speaker Man. Either way, that is going to be the top 10 starting units in all of Toy Tower Defense. Comment down below if you agree with this list, where you disagree, who you would add, and who you would take off. Like I said before, this could easily be the highest debated list I've ever made. I understand that because these aren't set in stone. These aren't set in stone facts. I simply gave them to you. Let me know what you prefer. Also, I've been going crazy on the videos yesterday. Make sure you check out my Valentine's Day videos and all the other videos that I've been making. They've just been insane. Check out all my other top 10 videos. One of them should be on this screen now. Either way, without further ado, I gotta go save a burning city from turning into ashes. And I'll see you guys again tomorrow. Bye.